I started playing Grim Dawn a couple of weeks ago, and with the latest patch updating the game in massive ways, I mean massive, new expansion coming out later this year, I wanted to kind of go over my experience, the gigantic update coming out today, June 19th, 2024, and also the new expansion, Fangs of Asterkan. I think I'm saying that right. It might be Asterkan. I don't know, can or con. We'll talk about it. So if you like games like Titan Quest, Last Epoch, this game's very similar in structure to those. ARPGs are kind of the hot item lately with Diablo and Path of Exile. Kind of have been my main games for the past year. When watching other creators in that space, a bunch of them said Grim Dawn was just amazing, and Zizaran even said that's my favorite ARPG ever. And so I bought the main game just to try it, and my first run through was as a commando. There are lots of parts of this game, but it's all very understandable and easy to pick up, especially if you're familiar with other ARPGs. First off, you can choose from multiple classes. Once you level up and start your journey into the game, you get to, as soon as you level, the very first level, it says, okay, where you want to put those points, and you choose one of the 8 starting classes. Eventually, you get the option to go to a second class type and determine where that one goes, very similar to Last Epoch and Titan Quest. These masteries are deep and fun to play around with. There's all kinds of combinations that you can do there. And when you combine them, it changes the name of your character. And for me, I've been playing as a demolitionist and a soldier, which combined is called a commando. And you can see here in the leveling tree, I've all in on the demonologist. I keep wanting to say demonologist. Demolitionist. I've gone all in on that, and then I did soldier about when I got my next mastery to get the protection that soldier offers. Also this blitz. But it's very similar to how Last Epoch works if you're familiar with that game, or Titan Quest, where you pump some points in and you have to give a certain amount of points down here along the bottom to be able to unlock these different skills. Because I wanted to do a lot of explodey stuff and blow people up, used a lot of fire and kind of spec'd all into fire and destruction with the demolitionist. And then the soldier stuff is really mainly for protection and my movement speed. But you can do this across so many different combinations to really have a lot of replayability on this. Like I said, there's currently 8 masteries to choose from. With the combo up to 36 total different types of classes to play for this game. So it's just a ton of ways to play and a variety. There is controller support. If you're a controller player like I am, usually you can pick up controller. I felt like I tried out the controller just for a tad right in the beginning, and I thought PC mouse and keyboard just felt better for me. But if you wanted to play this on controller, especially if you're on Xbox, you're going to have to. It's not something that's too bad, and the layout works out pretty well, and the controls and stuff seemed fairly intuitive. So it's not such a big deal if you wanted to play on controller. I'm only using a few skills, so it's not like playing Path of Exile on controller where it's kind of a little bit much. It works pretty well in this game. One thing to note for me is that I bought the base game with no expansions. I just wanted to see how it would go. And the storage options for my stash was pretty low. So your normal stash where you would save stuff back at the base, it only had 1 tab in the base game. Once you purchase an expansion, you get more tabs, and you also get a little bit more space within your normal carrying capacity. So you can see here, very similar to how Titan Quest works. You have your main bag that you're carrying, and then you get these extra bags from doing some quests that will give you extra room, so you don't have to go back so often to the base. This stuff fills up pretty quick, and then when you do go to your stash, there's more tabs that you can buy once you purchase expansions. There's currently 3 difficulties to play at: Normal, Elite, and Ultimate. The next expansion coming out is going to add a 4th difficulty, Ascendant. My first character I've started on Normal just to get a feel for the game, and it really hasn't been too difficult. I die a normal amount of times from my abilities. Being melee character, kind of up in the face of all these monsters that I'm fighting, the challenges seem to be a little bit harder with the bigger bosses because they hit so hard when you're standing up close to them. but I've been moving around and trying to use mines and stuff, and it's been pretty good. You know, normal seems to be a pretty nice first experience. I have yet to get into the higher difficulties. From what I'm told from some really awesome people that have been coming and hanging out in the stream, you just have a higher chances to get legendary gear. So I have gotten a few legendaries, but they haven't been great. They've been for other classes, so I might want to try a New Game Plus run with my Commando and see what I get. Like Last Epoch and some other ARPGs out there, there is a loot filter. This one's in-game. Easily accessible from the menu down here. You click on the loot filter and it offers a bunch of different options for what you want to filter out and what you don't want to see. Right now I'm going to be filtering from one-handed melee to two-handed melee because I just switched over today. So I can say, okay, I no longer want to see one-handed melee. I don't want to see caster offhand. I don't want to see shields, you know, that kind of stuff. I also reduced it down to rare so that I'm not seeing magic and common items, and all the rest of it will drop and I can take a look at what it is. I'm doing physical damage and fire damage for the most part, so I keep it at those. Yeah, and you can even click on other things here to, if you want to dial it in your loot filter even more. I like seeing a lot of stuff. It's kind of the fun for me is having all the stuff, plus I can come back and sell it and get a ton of gold, which you can see I have over a million gold. And a lot of my resistances are capped. Poison's still pretty shit. But yeah, it's pretty simple. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, when you are leveling, you get points that you can put into physique, cunning, and spirit. Spirit is basically like your mana points down here. This is your spirit points. And then your health points. Physique will give you bonus to health, but also bonus to being able to wear certain armor. So the armor class is based on physique. So you can see that the one I'm wearing right now, you have to be a level 50 and you have to have at least 557 physique to wear it. So if you wanted to wear heavier armor because you're up in front of people, this is where you start putting those points. Some of your gear will give you physique bonuses as well. So yeah, that's how that works. So within your stash, you can see you have multiple different tabs here. I've gotten 2 unlocked because that's all I really need. But you can do item transfer tab as well. That you can have multiple of those. I only have the one because I've only started one other class. And I'm sending things back that I had in my main stash. And you can switch back and forth between those, and you can have all these multiple stashes to keep items. If you find a bunch of good gear, then you don't want to sell it or scrap it, and you don't want to keep it in your inventory. The stash system seems to be pretty flexible. As far as the story, it's engaging enough. I don't know, it keeps me interested. The voice acting was good. All the NPCs are kind of serious. There's not a whole lot of comedy in this game. There's a couple little funny parts, but for the most part, everyone is pretty kind of, oh my god, the end of the world is happening, and these aether this and that's, and oh my, go get the thing, and you know, it's a lot of serious stuff, not a lot of funny goofballs, which is unfortunate, but has been fun. There's also some multiple factions that you can choose, different paths, so when you're playing through, you can say, oh, I'm going to choose this faction, and it kind of locks you off from doing other things. That happened a couple of times with me within the current expansion, Ashes of Malmouth, and also the main game. So that's pretty cool to have some choice. Also gives it just another reason to replay the game and try a different choice and do a different type of damage, that kind of thing. The main faction in the main game that I went with gives me a lot of fire benefits. And then there's an in-game reputation quests that you can do as well. So if you wanted to keep playing the game, you wanted to grind for gear, there's ways to also do quests with bounties for those different factions. So lots and lots of ways to replay this game. So far, the expansion content that I've played has been fun. I haven't picked up the next set of expansions yet, but I plan on doing that as well. I just wanted to kind of get this video out since there's a lot of people thinking about playing this game. Ashes of Malmouth adds a Necromancer class, which was really cool. I've been playing that on my second character. That's been pretty neat to be able to, anytime you can be a Necromancer in a game, I'm all about it. And the expansion content in Ashes of Malmouth was pretty good. It was extra challenge for sure. Some pretty large dungeons that I went through using the skeleton keys, and that was fun. And for a first playthrough, was a decent enough challenge with new items. So I'm very happy with my purchase. And the new update that came out today, 1.2.1.0, is wow. I mean, you have a table of contents. Patch notes don't usually have tables of contents. because of so much stuff that's changing. This is enormous. I mean, they're changing all kinds of stuff, all bunch of different equipment, relics, all kinds of different class. Pretty much every single class got some kind of change, and this balance looks like something to prep for the next expansion, Fangs of Asterkan. But yeah, if you want, I put links to this and to some other things in the description down below if you want to check out what all is changing here. It is quite a bit of stuff. As you can see, so many different things got balanced, changed, buffed, probably nerfed, who knows. I'm not familiar enough with the game to read through this and understand all these different things. There was a few things that I looked at for me for playing Commando that are changing or that are being buffed. So interesting stuff on the patch notes. The next expansion is Fangs of Asterkan, which is supposed to come out this year. We don't have a release date for it yet, so we don't know when that's going to drop, but it does look pretty exciting here, adding new difficulties, new 10th mastery, exploring new chapters of the story. You know, there's a bunch of different items that are being added to the game, things that are being expanded, so pretty awesome stuff. They don't have a trailer for this yet to kind of give you a little cinematic or anything, but there is the new Mastery Berserker here, which I'm assuming is this lady here with the wolf. So yeah, exciting to hear more about that, and hopefully they release some things now that they've got their big major patch out. Like I said, I've only played through the first expansion, but the Crucible and the next one are also things that I hope to check out and see. I haven't really looked through it to see what any of that stuff is. I've only played this for about 40 hours to get through the first main campaign and the first expansion, but it's very fun for an ARPG enjoyer like me. And if you haven't played it yet, maybe this is a good reason to pick it up now that things are being added this year and there's more interest in people playing it. But what do you think? Is Grim Dawn one of your favorite ARPGs? Have you not checked it out yet at all? Are you looking to pick it up? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please throw a like on it. I would really appreciate it. Don't press that bell. I hate the bell. Get rid of the bell. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.